Economics and Commerce, CMR University. I take the privilege of inviting all the dignitaries, participants, and my team, and everybody who is available here. Without taking much of the time, I will just take the opportunity to introduce our speaker. On the sixth day of faculty development program titled Advanced Research Methodology Analysis, we are going to learn about data analysis using R software and through hands-on experience. I hereby extend a warm welcome to everyone. Today on this occasion, we have invited an eminent resource person, Professor and Dr. Pankaj Agarwal, sir, Associate Professor, XLRI, Delhi. And sir, thank you for accepting our invitation despite your busy schedule. Pankaj, now let me just run through the schedule, profile of sir. Sir has about 23 years of professional experience, including a 6-year stint with banking and financial service industry. Sir has completed his MBA at Faculty of Management Studies, MLS University, Udaipur. And sir is a qualified CFA at Hyderabad, and SR is a gold medalist of Certified Associate of II of IIB,
Your hands on
means
laptop.
Indian Institute of Banking. And sir is a fellow of XLRI Jamshedpur and a double doctorate holder in finance and management. Sir regularly publishes in the business press via the Financial Express and has also published several papers in the international conferences and ABDC Scopus listed journals.
Thank you.
Sir has conducted a number of MDPs for clients like Energy Efficiency Services Limited, Coca-Cola, CII, Associum, PNB, NTCP, and UP government. Sir has successfully convened several international and national conferences as well. Sir's academic and research interests include asset pricing, derivatives, risk management, financial econometrics, financial modeling with Excel, and our corporate finance, microfinance, banking, and capital markets. And when we see that SAR has also bagged many awards, namely first position in National Big Data Championship under the scheme of Department of Biotechnology, Bank of India Prize, and MP Srivastava Memorial Prize for outstanding performance in banking sector, and a best writer in finance from CNX 123. He is a life member of Indian Econometric Society, Indian Commerce Association, and Indian Economic Association. And we could see that sir is also well versed in teaching subjects like starting from derivatives, risk management, financial markets, and the list is on and on. And in conclusion, I would like to express once again my gratitude on behalf of SOEC CMR University for being here today to share his knowledge, sir. We are confident that the interaction with you, and the knowledge that you are going to share with our past participants will definitely add an extra spark to the session. And with this, I take the opportunity to invite and hand over the session to Professor Dr. Pankaj Agarwal, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Regina. Thank you for the invitation, Professor B.B. Tiwari, sir, and thank you for the introduction. So I'm really happy to be here. Of course, I was scheduled to be here earlier, but because of certain health issues, I could not be. So today we are here, and so once again, thank you for this. So I'll be talking about the usage of open source software R for research purposes. Now, when we start talking about R software, I think some of the participants have. Yes, sir.
I think I should mute to everyone, and if they want, they can respond through the chat.
That is perfect. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir. Okay, sir.
So, friends, kindly see that you are muted. If you have any question, please, you can write in the chat box. I assure you that I will be trying to respond to all the questions that you might raise. So, friends, the goal of using R for research and why we are talking about it, why this session is kept in this program. So I would like to share my own experience. I hope you might be able to relate with this experience. So long time ago, I think it was around 2011, when I was facing a problem. My institute at that time did not have paid software, and I needed it for some data analysis purposes. Now I was stuck for a long time. Some people suggested that there are pirated versions of the original softwares available. You can use them. Everybody is using them. That's what I heard from some of the people. But I was again thinking that on one hand, it is unethical. On the other hand, another problem is that if you are using a pirated copy, and then if you are publishing somewhere with the results, then later on you can be in a problem, because pirated software, you do not have a license, and if a audit trail is done, then you cannot show that you have used a genuine copy. So I was in a fix what to do. So then some people suggested that there are open source softwares available which can be illegally used, and which are in fact able to perform a lot of advanced level analysis, which even the paid softwares are not able to do. So then I wondered, if how can it be so nice? How can it be so good? Too good to be true, isn't it? You have a free software which you can legally use, and it can perform better analysis. Just think of it. It sounds too good to be true. I thought there must be a catch. What is the catch? So the catch is that although it is true that R can be used freely and legally, it is also true that a lot of advanced level analysis can be done on R, which probably commercial softwares take a while before they include them. The catch is that learning R is a bit challenging in the beginning. So quote unquote in the beginning, because the softwares like SPSS or Stata or eViews, whatever you might be using, they are driven by menus. So on the screen, you have menus. You go to a particular menu, you select that option, and whatever you wish to perform, it gets done. It's as simple as that. But in case of open source softwares like R or Python, you have to write a small command line. That is, you can call it a program. Now, this is the problem with R or Python or for any other, most of the open source software environments. I thought, I'm not a computer scientist. I don't have any programming background. Can I learn it? So then I started. And at that time, we did not have the benefit of such programs which you are attending. Hardly anybody used R in India. And so all you had was some internet resources and your own practice. And of course, a computer with internet connection. So I thought I had no choice. And when you are left with no choice, then you do whatever is there. So I started. And it took me some time. It took me some, getting used to. And after that initial, challenge that I faced, being a non-technical, non-programming person, after the initial patience, I was able to pick it up and pick it up enough so that I could confidently use it in my PhD, in my research, otherwise, etc., etc. So I learned a few lessons. The lesson was number one, these programming languages give you a lot of power. You no longer depend on your institute's subscription of paid software, or you no longer have to call a friend in some better institute where the license version is available. You don't have to do unethical things like using, crack version, etc. And you also gain the ability to perform advanced level analysis. These things come at a small price, and that small price is it will take you some time before you can start feeling comfortable. So if you are willing to pay that price, friends, the rewards are immense. And I can assure you, after 2011, I don't think I have used any other software program. So when it comes to time series analysis, which is used in finance, when it comes to cross-sectional data analysis, financial econometrics, I have not found anything which I cannot do in R. So therefore, I have started encouraging other people like me. So today I am privileged that I am at an institute which is offering me all paid software. But this was not the case uh, 20, 12, 13 years ago. So now let me ask you, what is your experience? Are you able to get paid software legally? So you can just write yes or no in the chat box. Is it easy for you to access paid software? No. Yeah. So one response, no, right? No. So I think this problem everybody faces, right? At least in the beginning at most of our Indian institutes. I mean, especially, so once you, with time, you move to a place where these subscriptions are there, then it's okay. But most of the cases, they are not there. So friends, I strongly encourage you to devote some time, allow yourself 5, 6 months, do some practice. A lot of resources are available. You really don't need a training session like this for us, honestly. You can learn it on your own, but you need to be motivated. You need to have patience. Patience, why? Because as I said, R is a very new environment to work in, and therefore it requires you to be a little conditioned before you start feeling comfortable. So you have to have a patience. Sometimes you'll feel that, yeah, I have been learning it for 1 month. I have not learned anything. So those kind of frustrations will come up. But remember this session and just hang on, just be there, right? Continue to do that. And I assure you, and if I can learn it, you can also learn it. That's my simple logic. And over the last 5, 6 years, I have been promoting my colleagues like you to use it, and people have started using it. And I have not met any single individual who came back and told me that I was wrong and it is impossible to learn. It's not. Anybody can use it. So that is the background, friends, and that is why today's session is here. Now you understand why a session on R is required, or why I decided, or Dr. Tiwari agreed that we do a session on R. Now, so when it comes to R, the capabilities of R are immense. Now, just a quick understanding. Anybody in this session today, have you ever used R? Or do you use R? Say yes or no. Say yes or no. Please respond. I don't have the benefit of being physically with you, so I I can only gauge your responses by your chat replies. So please help me by at least interacting with me so that our session is interactive. It's not one way. Okay, I think I'm getting all no's. No, right? Some people are writing in capital letters. No, sir. Yes, I hear you, Professor Rishikesh. No, sir. Yeah. Okay. So that makes this an ideal platform to discuss R, isn't it? Not many people seem to have learned it. Okay. So with such vast capabilities that R has, where does one begin? And what I will discuss today. So again, friends, you might have been learning about various techniques of data analysis over the last 5 days. So I thought, let me rather than getting into some advanced level techniques, because today I'll be talking about R also. So you are facing a dual challenge. On one hand, you are trying to learn R, and on the other hand, you are trying to learn a data analysis technique. So the challenge for today's session is dual. So I thought, rather than getting into a more advanced techniques like advanced level regression, etc., I would like to focus on how to visualize data for a professional publication. So data visualization has a number of uses, right? You know that. So you visualize data to make preliminary analysis of relationships between variables. So it is more exploratory in nature. You want to just test visually whether some relationship between data exists or not. So that is one purpose of visualizing data. The other purpose is to explain to an audience some relationship which you are trying to prove. And you require professional level graphs and charts to get into that kind of publishing. Whatever be your purpose, one strength of R is that it is amazing for visualization. And we will see very soon that the kind of graphs and charts R can produce, they are just too good to be true kind of thing, right? So we will see that. So my purpose for today's session, the goal of today's session is to introduce, to motivate you to pick up R, to introduce you some basics of R, and to discuss some visualization techniques that we can, uh, on day-to-day basis in our research, we can use. So that is the whole idea behind the next 1.5 hours or so that I want to do. In this session, please feel free to interrupt me with your questions. That is point number one. We are all colleagues, so don't hesitate. Whenever you have anything to which is bothering you, please come up. No question is a silly question. The person who does not ask a question may be a silly person, right? So let's not make that mistake. That is point number one. Point number two is uh, when we are discussing, please just don't passively listen to me. I have already requested Professor Tiwari to send you a mail for downloading R Studio, and I will hope that everybody has downloaded it. So when I am working on the session, in the session, please work with me, right? That is the only way of learning that I know. I don't know, just by listening, learning becomes very challenging, right? Acha, so some people are writing something. I hope you all have downloaded R Studio. Just write yes or no. Did you receive a mail for downloading R Studio?
I will again share, sir, in the group. Again going to share.
Okay, I think Anuradha, I think many people have received it. Supreet, Usha, they have received it. They have downloaded it. You might have missed the email message. Yes, Shreya, wonderful. Yeah, yes. Okay. So, okay. So friends, let me go to the interface directly, the R Studio interface, and explain to you how it works. If you have not been able to download it, do it immediately. Professor Tiwari must have written to you, or he's writing it again in the group. So just download it. If you are attending this
The
session
link
on a...
shared in the group.
Okay,
Even in the
wonderful.
chat box also.
Yeah, wonderful. So Shreya, yes, I will explain. Don't worry. What is the difference between R and R Studio? So first of all, let me share the screen and I will discuss the architecture of R Studio. What is R Studio? How it is different from R, and so on and so forth. That I will discuss. Then once we are a little comfortable with R Studio, then I'll get into the visualization, right? So that is the whole idea. So let me share the screen. Yeah, so friends, this is my screen and I hope it is visible to you. So on this screen, I have opened the R Studio. Now, first of all, Shreya has asked a very pertinent question. That what is the difference between R and R Studio? So friends, R is the engine which performs the analysis, right? R is the main brain where your analysis, data analysis is actually performed. R Studio is some kind of convenience. R Studio is a some kind of a wrapper on R. So inside R is there, outside for the to facilitate a user of R Studio has been created. So you have a choice. You can work directly in the engine, that is R, or you, rather than working directly in R, you can download R Studio and you can work in R Studio. There are a number of benefits when you work in R Studio rather than R. The benefits is the convenience and ease of use. So because of those benefits, most of the data analysts or researchers conduct their data analysis in R Studio. Remember, R Studio will not analyze your data, but it has been designed to stay connected with your R, which is in your computer. And whatever you do in R Studio, that gets processed inside R. So you don't have to worry about anything. So that means every time you install R Studio on your system, R also gets automatically installed. So R Studio standalone basis doesn't work. R Studio has to be coupled with R installation as well. You can work on R without R Studio. That is possible, right? R also offers you a user interface, although it is not so convenient, right? It is a little challenging. It is a little clumsy. But R Studio is very, very user friendly. So I hope the difference between R Studio and R is clear. So many open source software allow this kind of a structure where on one hand, they have the main software like R or Python. And on the other hand, people launch another product which eases the pain of using those open source software. So for example, in R, you have R Studio, which is the most popular. There are other such conveniences available. These conveniences are technically known as IDE, Integrated Development Environment. So R Studio is an integrated development environment. So it sounds very technical, right? Integrated development environment. Don't worry, it's just a convenience. Just think of it as a convenience. Second, in case of Python, the number of integrated development environments are available. One is Anaconda. People mostly use Anaconda. Other is Spider, right? So those who use Python normally do not use Python directly. So they will use Python through one of these things like Anaconda or Spider. There are many others also in case of Python, right? So these are called IDEs, Integrated Development. So we will be discussing the RStudio IDE. So when you download and open RStudio IDE, it looks something like this. So let's understand what it is all about. So on the left hand, this screen on which my cursor is there, this is the main R engine, right? Main R console. It is called R console. R console because this is where your data is getting processed, right? On the right hand side, you have two windows, one at the top. In this window, so friends, today is our first interaction and I will avoid using technical terms as far as possible so that you are not put off. Zyada technical if I use, so you will be put off. ये यार अपने बस का नहीं है. I surrender. I am not cut out for using R. ठीक है? So I will avoid using technical terms. Please understand, I am doing it deliberately, right? If some of you are aware of some technical words, so I appreciate that. Let's not discuss them today, right? Maybe some other time, or maybe once you are doing your own learning, you will pick up those exact technical terms for these things. So this right-hand side window is called environment. So whenever you are looking at a variable in R or creating a variable in R or have downloaded some data in R, the variable name will appear in this window. So this window displays the variables that you are using in analysis. This is the purpose of this top window. There are certain other links. Gradually, you will play with them and understand. For today's session, I will suffice it to say that this particular top window in the right hand corner is for displaying the variables that you are using. Now, what is this right hand bottom window? So this window, this area is for displaying your graphs and for seeking help. Seeking help. One good thing about all open source softwares is that they have a wonderful system of help. So any learner, any new learner or even advanced learner, when they are stuck, whom do they go? Whom do they ask? So they can simply post their queries either on internet, simply Google them, or within RStudio also, there is some help available. They can seek their help here itself. There are some email mailing lists which you get subscribed to when you are downloading R or RStudio. That is also a great way of seeking help. And friends, I can assure you, you might be wondering, what if my particular problem nobody is able to help? This will never happen. In last 15 years or so, while I've been using R, I have never faced a situation where a particular problem that I was stuck with that did not get resolved through these help, platforms. So I assure you, whatever you are facing, somebody has already faced it. And when you Google your help issue, then there will be either a response already existing and Google will find it for you where it is, or you can just write to those mailing lists and somebody will be able to help you. So I am trying to give you a lot of reassurance about this entire ecosystem that R has. And the best part is it is all free. It is all reliable. It is all accepted in all the journals of the world, right? So whatever analysis you perform, that analysis people will not question if you have done it on R. So that credibility is also there, which a researcher sometimes is concerned with, right? Okay. So I think I have given you some background. Now, let me ask you, do you have any question for whatever I discussed till now? Do you have any question for whatever I discussed till now? Anybody or any remarks, any experiences, anything you want to say? Please say it freely on the chat box. Any observation, any disagreements? But say something, friends. Okay. Let me feel that I am not talking to an empty computer screen and only Dr. Tiwari is responding. So, okay. Okay. So did you follow whatever I said till now? Video data analysis is possible. Alok ji, I have not done video data analysis on R, but I think it is possible. But qualitative data analysis is very, very much easy. You can do text or voice or social media analytics in R very, very easily, right? So that is not a problem. As far as video analysis is concerned, Alok ji, I have not, I belong to the field of finance where qualitative analysis is very, very limited. At least I have not done it. I know people who do it, but so I have never come across a case where somebody did video, but you can just Google it and find it out, right? Okay, I think somebody raised hand. I think it was Vishal. Vishal, you had a query, please write. Vishal, was it Vishal? I might be forgetting the name. Somebody raised hand. Okay, I think there are no questions, it seems. Okay. Okay. So now, friends, this is your RStudio. Now, how R works. So R is like a giant calculator. Giant calculator. And in this giant calculator, in order to use it, you need to give it some instructions. Okay, Vishnuji, I'm sorry I was taking your name wrongly. Yeah. So in this giant calculator, you have to give it some instructions. So how instructions are given? So let us try to understand. So if you go to the top, you will find some tabs here. So go to the file tab and just press new file. And in new file, go to the R Studio. Now another window appears at the top. So now your screen is divided into 4 quadrants. This one is we have just opened it. This one at the bottom is the main R console, and other two I have already explained. What is this? So this window you just opened, I hope everybody was able to do that. This is called R Studio Editor. In this, we write our instructions, which computer people call programs, right? So we write our commands or programs in this particular page. And this page is called R editor. Remember, when you write anything on this page, R does not do anything. It is just a blank page, right? Nothing happens when you write here. It is just a pad, writing pad for writing your instructions. So when does R follow your instruction? In order for R to follow your instructions, you transfer your instructions from this window to bottom, because bottom is the power. Bottom is the R engine, which can understand your instructions, which can execute your instructions, which can give you output. So this is done at the bottom. So you can write instructions directly at the bottom also here, but that is not advisable. Why? Because it is less convenient. I told you, we are using R Studio so that our life becomes a little easier. So writing instructions in this window, which is called R editor, is far more efficient than writing instructions directly in this particular console. Now, what instructions can be written and how they are transferred? So first we will understand a very simple example. So I said that it is just a giant calculator. So a giant calculator must be able to perform small tasks also. So at the top, I take the cursor and I write 2 plus 2. This is my question to R. What is the value of 2 plus 2? Now, you see, I wrote 2 plus 2. You can also write, but nothing is happening. So that's what I said, right? Because you have just written 2 plus 2 on a blank page. In order for R to understand it and execute it, you need to transfer this to the bottom, left bottom, which is R engine, R console. I hope you are now familiar with R engine, R editor. Top is editor, this is engine, this is environment, and this is the graphical device, graphical area and help area. So how to transfer it? So after you have written, press Control Enter. Control Enter. By pressing Control Enter, you have instructed this editor to transfer whatever you have written to the engine. And the moment this goes into the engine by definition starts working. And it worked on your instruction that was 2 plus 2, and it produced an output called 4, right? So Control Enter after writing your instruction, pressing Control Enter will transfer your instruction to the bottom. You can have your cursor anywhere in your instruction line. So I can have it at the beginning, press Control Enter. I can have it in the middle, press Control Enter. I can have it at the end, Control Enter. So your cursor should be somewhere in your instruction line. And then you press Control Enter, it goes. Now let us try something else. I am writing 6 by 3. So then Control Enter. So it is giving me the correct output. Then I am writing, let us say 3 square. 3 square. So 3 square. Again, it is giving me the output. Let us say I am writing 6 plus 8 plus 9. So you can see this is like a calculator, giant calculator. we are taking some, very, very preliminary examples, not even preliminary, but we are just trying to see how it works. I hope you understood two things: the purpose of R editor at the top and the purpose of control enter, how you transfer your instructions to the engine so that engine works, right? Okay. Next thing to understand is whenever you are dealing with data, most of us have used Excel. In Excel, everything is in front of you. Your data is in front of you and you feel comfortable because you can see your data, right? When you see something, you feel comfortable. If you don't see something, you become uncomfortable, right? So in Excel, when you see your data, what do you see? You have columns. So for example, you are looking at advertising expenses in one column and sales in second column. So you will have a column of, let's say, 50 companies, advertising expenses. On the top, you will have a column name, advertising. And then the next column on the top, you will have a column name, sales. And then 50 companies sales will be there. So on the top, you have column names. They can be called variables also. So advertising is one variable, sales is another variable. You might want to discuss or analyze how advertising impacts sales. So you have these two data points, advertising as well as sales. They have names also, sales and advertising, and you can use them in your analysis, right? So naming of variables is very, very important. In R, how do we name variables? So let us say I want to name a value, some value to some variable name X. So in R, how we name? So this is important to understand. So first I write the name. I am writing X. X is what? A variable name that I have selected for my data. Then to give name to any data, we use a special combination of symbols. This combination is less than and dash. Please remember, note it very carefully. So it is like a left hand arrow, left hand arrow. Just press less than followed by dash. Now, this arrow is called assignment operator. Assignment operator. What is its job? Its job is to assign a value to a variable name. So the job of this assignment operator is to assign a value or a set of values to a variable name. So variable name in our case is always written on the left of the arrow. You might not like X, so you might like your own name. So I can write Pankaj, right? I can write Pankaj. Remember, you have to be careful about using the small caps or large caps. So R is case sensitive. You cannot use a variable name in small letters and later on access that variable with capital letters. That is not done. So I have written in small Pankaj as the name of my variable. And let us say I want to give it a value of 10. And then I press Control Enter. Now you see at the bottom, nothing has happened. Same instruction has got repeated at the bottom. What does it mean? It means R has saved in its memory the value of 10 with the variable name Pankaj. And next time I will be typing Pankaj, R will know that I am referring to the value 10. So let us say instead of Pankaj, which sounds a little big, I simply write X. So I do it again. Now R has replaced my earlier variable Pankaj. It is not exactly replaced, to be honest, but it has now created a new variable X, right? Now, if I want to access X, then what do I do? So just type X and press Control Enter, and you will see that R is returning you the value that you saved with that variable name. Just type Pankaj and press Control Enter. So every time you will type X or Pankaj, you will be able to see the value that is associated with that variable. Now, friends, I want to ask you, till now, is it clear to you? So I'm asking you two specific questions. Did you understand the R editor and R console? Did you understand the control enter? And did you understand the variable names and how the assignment operator is working? So these three questions I am posing to you. Did you understand these three things? Okay. Is there anyone? I can see some people with their videos on. Their video is on. They are roaming around in their kitchens or wherever, I don't know. Okay, wonderful. Okay, great. So we have now also learned how to name variable. But you will ask, you will say, what, sir? You are giving a value of 10 to your variable. My variable is survey data. It has thousands of values. Okay. How do you give more than one value to a variable name? So friends, in R, we have various ways for saving data. The most basic way of saving data, or the structure, most basic structure of saving data is called a vector. It's called a vector. So suppose I have 5 values and I want to save it with a variable name age. So let us say I have 5 friends and I want to save their age, 5 people's age, with a variable called age, right? So how do I do that? Remember, first we write the variable name that we want to give. So I want to give it a name age. And then I do assignment operator. Then this time I have to supply 5 values, not one value. So in R, this is done with the help of a function. So you remember Excel, in Excel, you have functions for everything. So for example, you want to calculate mean, you have an average function. So you select data in the and put it inside the reference of that data inside that average function, and then that function produces an output. So a function takes an input and produces an output. This is the job of a function. Normally function is written as function name and followed by brackets. So the average function is written as average, then bracket. In bracket, you put the inputs, right? And then you process it and output gets produced. So that structure of functions is same in case of R also. So here we are using a very simple function called C function. It is written as C parenthesis. And inside this function, you write your inputs. So I had already mentioned that what inputs we want to give here. We want to give inputs of 5 ages, right? So how do I do that? I write 23 first friend's age, then 34 second friend's age, then 43 third friend's age, then let's say 37 fourth friend's age, and then 39 last friend's age. So I'm sorry, my friends are a little older. I'm no more as young as you might be. So you can select lower values. I have selected these values, right? So these 5 values are put separated by a comma. And then I press Control Enter. Again, nothing has happened. Nothing has happened means something has happened at the back end. What has happened at the back end? These 5 values have been stored as variable age. And you see, this has appeared here in this window. You first created the variable Pankaj, it appeared. You first, next created variable X, it appeared. Then you created the variable age, that has also appeared. If I want to just type age and press Control Enter, then it will give me the values associated with that variable name. So one thing more now, if you just type a variable name and press Control Enter, what it does, what R does, it prints the contents of that variable. So I type age, press Control Enter, what happens at the bottom? The age variable and associated values, they get printed on my screen. So friends, you see, you don't have the benefit of looking at your data all the time that you have in Excel or SPSS. In R, your data is actually invisible to you. You can always see it. It's possible to see it. I will discuss that. But it is not readily visible. There are ways to see it, right? So this is another thing which people take time to become comfortable with. Excel mein to you have everything in front of your screen, so you feel comfortable. It's like, you know, having somebody at your disposal and you can see them. So you feel reassured, yeah, he's there or she's there. But the moment you lose sight of them, you become uncomfortable. Are wo kidhar gaye, right? So that kind of thing happens. But very soon you overcome this inhibition, and then you will be able to work with data even if it is not so directly visible, right? So friends, this is the now what we just did, we created a variable and a data structure, a structure in which the data is stored. Data is stored as a, it is called a vector. So the function C, what is the role of function C? The role of function C is it creates a data structure. Now friends, some of you might be wondering ki yaar ye whatever I am discussing you will forget. So in this editor, you have a facility of creating your notes. So suppose after this line, you want to just create a note that C function creates a vector for your memory. So how do you do that? Just after your line, type hash. The moment you type hash, it will be typed in green, and write whatever you want to write. So let's say I'm writing a note to myself, C function creates a vector, so that I can remember later on when I'm practicing. I'm hoping that some of you will actually practice later on. So C function creates a vector. So when you type hash in RStudio editor at the top, then it tells RStudio that this is just a note. This is not a command. And that is why it is coming in green line. So next time you want to press Control Enter, then everything written after hash will just be there but will not be executed. Let us see. So now let me type Control Enter again. You see the entire line has appeared in the bottom. But out of this line, anything written after hash has been ignored by R. R knows that this is just a note my user has created for himself. So only things written like here, they have been considered by R for execution and processing. And this file on which we are working, when you close it, like there's a cross here, when you close it, it asks you that whether you want to save it. So let me save it. So I'm saving it CMR University, right? I have given it a name, CMR University, and I'm just saving. So in whatever folder I have saved it, if I go to that folder, I will find this file. And next time I want to use this file, I can simply double click it and it will open in RStudio. So now friends, you hope you understand the advantage of this editor. Whatever coding or instructions you are creating, that is getting saved for later use that can be shared with your colleagues, your collaborators, that can be, variously utilized. So this is, now you see the name has appeared, and you can save for multiple projects. You can create multiple files, right? And put them in a folder. Okay. So friends, we learned two more things. How to create notes for ourselves in editor, and how to save the editor file, right? Now, everybody, could you create the notes with the use of hash? And remember, hash can be used anywhere. It's not that you can use it after a line. You can use it here also. So I am learning R Studio, something like that, right? So you can create a, this is called a comment in the language of computing. So you can create a comment anywhere in our editor. Now, friends, just let me know, did you understand how to create comments so that later on you can refer to it and understand it? Everybody, are you comfortable creating comments? Perfect, perfect, perfect. Right? Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Okay. Now, friends, how R has been designed. So you remember, can we write age as below 20? You can write as below 20, but then it will not read it as below 20. It will read it as a text data. Text data. Let me try that. So Usha is saying age is less than 23. So if I do that, I put a less than sign before 23 and execute this line, then what happens? It is giving me an error, right? It is giving me an error. So it will not accept a symbol here. So what do? I can put it under quotes. And if I put anything under quotes, then R reads it as a text data, not a number anymore. So when I do it now, the error is gone. But there is another thing that has happened. So let me print age. When I print age, you see, earlier when I had printed age, all the data were numbers. Now, when I have printed age, R has converted all the data and it is wrapped all the data points around quotation marks. Why R has done it? Because one of the data was input as a text data. The moment you put any data or any entity under quotes, R reads it as a text. If one of the data is text, then in this structure, vector, all other data will also be read as text. So this is what is happening here. So now this is a problem. You will say that this is a big problem because sometimes we deal with data, some of which may be ordinal data, some of which may be nominal data, some of which may be category data. So you have different types of data saved in the single data set. Now, what R has just done, it has forced all the data to behave like text just because one of the data was text. So does it mean that R cannot be used for cases where there are different data types, nominal, ordinal, ratio, whatever? So the answer is no. You can definitely use R to handle different data types within the same data set. But then the data structure that you will use will not be a vector. That data structure which allows us to have different types of data in the same data set is known as a data frame. Data frame. Data frame, I'll just show you what a data frame is all about. Then you will see it can accommodate data of various types. Now, when I'm saying types, I hope you understand. So I'm saying nominal data type, which is just categories, then ordinal categories with ranking, then you have ratio, right? And so on. So I hope you understand that. So this is possible, Miss Usha, and you can then use a different data structure. We'll come to that. So friends, my problem is I have only around, let's say 100 minutes to speak to you. Within that, I have to talk about, I have to leave you with some learning, right? And it's a little challenging, right? So this is very new to you, and I cannot just plunge you into a little advanced level things unless I have given you some kind of a hand holding in the beginning and have given you some fundamental concepts, right? But don't worry, I'll target that today itself. I'll be talking about that data structure. So, but just for now, just make a mental note. One data structure that we learned using function C is called a vector. That is the simplest data structure in R. And the second data structure, which is much more advanced, and which is what researchers will actually encounter, researchers will actually use, is called a data frame. Data frame. So we'll talk about it, don't worry, right? Okay. Now, another thing about R is, or when I say R, it automatically applies to R Studio. So don't get confused. So another thing about R is that when you download R, it is like purchasing a base model of a car. So when you go to market, so the salespeople, they tell you there are 6 models of this particular car. One is the base model, which is the cheapest, and then they add features, and then you reach up to the top model, right? So in R, when you downloaded it, you got a base model. In base model of R that you get, there are certain inbuilt capabilities that you can use without doing anything further. For example, I want to, let me again remove this code, right? And let me save the variable age and just print age again. So this is my age. I want to find the mean of age. So I use a function mean, and inside the brackets, I type age and I press Control Enter. It will calculate the mean. I want to calculate the standard deviation of age, and it will calculate the standard deviation of age. Now, you might be wondering, how do I remember mean function name, SD function name? That comes with practice, right? So when you entered your college, you did not remember names of any of the people studying there. But within 3 months, you started remembering them, right? So that the same thing applies to any new thing that you are doing. With some practice, you'll be able to remember this, right? So now capability to compute mean, standard deviation, and so many other things, they come in the base model that you have already downloaded. But sometimes you have a specialized requirements, right? And those specialized features that you are looking for may not be useful for everyone. So why will somebody use or download those specialized features unless that person uses it? So what people have done it, they have created a combination of functions which cater to a particular specialized application. For example, I am interested in time series econometrics. Now, handling time series econometrics is something which not everybody will do. So when you download base, this R, which you have done today, this is called base R. In base R, time series econometrics can be done only to a very limited extent because it's something which not every user requires. But what if a user requires it? So people have created what we call packages, and these packages are hosted on the server of R. So R has a network which is called CRAN, from where you have downloaded your R today, Comprehensive R Archives Network. On that server, IIT Chennai also has a server. On that server, they host these packages. Now you will ask me, what is this package? So package is a collection of functions which performs a specialized task. So for a time series, there is a package called XTS. And if I, as a user, wants to do time series, I can install that package. After installing R, base R, the moment I need it, I can install it with an internet connection, right? So there are around 10,000 packages available. Now, if you want to know which package is useful for my particular purpose. So for example, let us say you want to do factor analysis, confirmatory, exploratory factor analysis. Now you want to, somebody, I think Alok was asking me, can video analytics be done in R? So how to find that package which can do that? So what do? We simply go to Google and just type R package for video analytics or video analysis. And it gives me, so see, some YouTube videos come collecting and analyzing YouTube video data with R. So people have put up some tutorials also, analyzing volcano video data with R. Move R package for easy processing and analysis of video, right? So there are number of video processing with R. So you will get a number of results. So what I'm trying to do here is, friends, I'm trying to tell you that I'm trying to give you signposts for various things that you will require after this session, right? So that you are able to carry on your journey of learning, right? So this is this is the way to find out which package is going to be useful. Now come back to our R Studio. Now don't get into Google now. Don't be tempted to find your package. I assure you, practically almost everything can be done in R. You belong to economics, you belong to commerce, you belong to mathematics, you belong to physics, you belong to geoinformatics. Irrespective of your specialization, there are R packages for you. So this is the beauty and power of R that it gives you. Now, the next question is, package is available, but how do we install that package in our system? Because when you want to use that package for the first time, you have to install it in your hardware, right? Otherwise, how will you use it? So let's now learn how to do that. So today, we will install our first package. The first package I want to install is a package which performs descriptive analytics of data. So I think we all, when we start our papers, we have to give a table with descriptive summary statistics or descriptive statistics. So there is a R package which performs the summary statistics beautifully, which I have been using for a long time. So in my computer, it is already installed, but for demonstration purpose, I am going to install it. So I go to the editor, I type the line command install, install. And the moment I write, it is giving me a prompt, install.packages. So see, this is the beauty of R Studio. It prompts you for various things. So I just press tab, install.packages. So install.packages is what? It's a function which sources a package from our server and brings it to your computer. So the package name is PSYCH, Psych. It is a Psych package. It is a very popular package for performing descriptive statistics in R. So let me do that. So after writing this, it has to be written in quotes. I press Control Enter. So now see, in a moment, my package Psych has been loaded in my system. my package psych has been loaded in the system. Now, how do I know that what are the capabilities of this package? So I go to Google, I type R package psych documentation, psych package R documentation. So when I do that, every package creator has to create a PDF document and list whatever are the capabilities of that package. So see the package psych. So the latest version was created on June 27, 2024. The package, so this is the version. All these technical details are there. You can read the description. And bottom, you have the functions which are available in this package. And each function, you can go to the relevant page in the index and see what this function can do for you. So number of functions are available. I use this function in this package called describe. Remember, I had defined a package. What is a package? It is just a collection of functions to perform a specialized task. And this is the resource for you to learn about a particular package. And they will have all the examples, everything. You just have to practice and then you can use it with your real data. So now I am going back to our studio. So what we have learned how to install a package. I hope everybody was able to install the package psych. Then we learned where to find the documentation of that package to see what it can do. What are the functions inside this package, right? So we learned that. Now, remember the steps. Once you install the package for the very first time, it sits in your computer. But any function of this package is unavailable to you because it is just sitting inside your hard drive. For you to be able to use the functions which are inside this package, you have to activate it whenever you are using R. And there is a very simple method of activating a package which has been downloaded by you. I have downloaded, it is downloaded successfully because I get this message, package psych successfully unpacked, etc., etc. How do I activate a package? Every time I am using R, I have to write library. So there is a function called library. In that, I have to write the package name. So I just wrote psych and press Control Enter. So the moment I do it, now all the functions which are inside this package psych, they become available to me. They become available to me, right? And now I can use any functions. So it's so easy, right? It's so easy. So now R has some example data also. Now see, R can not only help you do analysis of your own data, for learning R, they have put some example data also inside the R studio, right? Inside the R studio. So let us see what are the data available. Some examples are there. We'll just go through them. But first, I want to ask you, are you able to, are you comfortable with two things? Can you answer a question? What does install.packages function does? Can you answer this question? Can you answer this question? What does function library does? Please answer. Please answer in the chat box. Don't answer the answer. Just say yes or no. Can you answer me or anybody? Can you explain these two functions, what are their purpose? Just say yes or no. Okay. So when somebody responds in capital letters, then I think they are showing their anger. Yeah. Okay, great. Wonderful. Yeah, yeah, Kiran, where is your problem? Install.packages is a function to download a package from the servers of our network to your computer here. So how to find a package that I have told you? So let us say I found that there is a package called psych, which is useful to me. I'm able to follow it. Thank you. Okay. I thought you were not able to follow it. Okay. So can I assume that everybody who is paying attention, there are 166 people here in this meeting, and my experience tells me that out of that, 16 people must be serious, right? So, okay, Kanojia Saab. So a package can be downloaded in your system because a package is a collection of specialized functions. So to download a package, you need a function which performs the downloading job. And that function is called install.packages. Inside of this function, in quotes, you write the package name. And when you control and enter it, what it does, whatever package name you have written inside this function, that package gets downloaded. Once the package has been successfully downloaded, it will remain in your computer. You switch off your computer, it will remain in your computer. But next time when you switch on your computer, or today itself when you want to use this package, anytime in future when you want to use this package is sitting in your computer but is not activated. It is resting. So you have to wake it up. And once you wake it up, then all the packages which we saw on Google, that package documentation, all the functions written in that package documentation, they become available. So you use the function library to activate it, right? Is it clear, Kanojia sir? Mr. Kanojia, is it clear? Kanojia Saab, you asked a question. Okay, thank you. Anybody who is unable to follow? Okay, so looks like we are able to follow. That's wonderful. Now, friends, I'm giving you a small task and I will take a small break of 3-4 minutes. Now you will think that this is unfair. I am taking a break, not allowing you a break. Arey bhai, I have been speaking. So the task is, I want you to install. Thank you, Neelam. Thank you so much. Install.packages. I want you to install a package called ggplot2. Now, funny names, huh? Don't worry. You know, these are funny names, but don't worry, right? That is not what we are interested in. We are not interested in the names. What is in a name anyway? Shakespeare said. So ggplot2, you have to install it and do a library command. So 3 things you will do while I am on a small break. 1, you will download the package ggplot2. You will do library command on ggplot2 and you will go to Google and type R package ggplot2 and quickly read what does it do. And once I am coming back in 3-4 minutes, you will tell me what ggplot2 does, and you have successfully downloaded it. Those who will not be able to answer my question will not be given the participation certificate in this program. So I'm just threatening you. Don't worry. This is an empty threat. But friends, I'm taking this 3-minute break. Answer my questions. One, did you successfully install it? Did you do the library command? And what is the purpose of this package? Why am I so psych package does descriptive statistics, right? That we have discussed. Okay, so I'm just taking a break. Thank you. And एक कहावत है, we say when cat is out, mice will play. So when I was away for 3-4 minutes, I hope you were engaged in the task, right? So don't just in the lighter vein, we are all friends. Nothing to worry. So let's keep it a little light, right? बहुत heavy हो जाएगा नहीं तो. Yeah, now who will tell me? Okay, have you done it successfully? Installed ggplot2? Okay, Shubha, very good. Very good, Usha ji. Mr. E.R. Lagalur, very good. Okay, sir, what do you mean, okay, sir? Either say yes or no. Ishwara Reddy, sir, very good. Manju ma'am. Ajay Verma ji, wonderful. Okay, okay, great. Now, who will write in the chat box what does ggplot2 does in one line? Ek line mein you have to answer. What is the purpose of ggplot2? What is the you copy mat kariye, अरे भाई साहब ये कौन है? Who has copied this answer? Alok ji. Alok ji, you copied it. Graphs, right? ठीक है, very good. So it does visualization. Yeah, Shaheen has given the best answer. Facilitate data visualization. I really appreciate Shaheen. Professor Rishikesh, wonderful, wonderful, excellent. So now, friends, so we have downloaded 2 packages, and in order to use it, you whenever you want to use it, not whenever means एक बार करना होता, once only. So you do it library ggplot2. So let me do it. Library ggplot2. ठीक है? So I did library ggplot2. Okay. So now, friends, let's get into our main topic today that I want to leave you with. You may not learn everything that I'm going to discuss now, friends. Okay, I keep realistic expectations from myself and from my colleagues, but try to see what is happening and try to pick up as much as you can. Right? This session will require you to do some follow-up work. So I'm sure you tell your students, please study after the class, please study before the class. I'm sure you do it, right? We all do it. So let's apply our teachings to ourselves. Huh? After this session, if you think that, yes, you also want to gain this capability, then please do follow up, right? A lot of follow up. Huh? It's not easy. I am not a snake oil merchant. I don't sell snake oil. I unfortunately, I don't give you quick fix magical solutions. Do this, do this, do this. Yeah, magic will happen. Magic in life happens with a lot of hard work, right? Magic happens. I'm not denying, but it will happen with a lot of hard work. So if you agree with me on this, then I encourage you to devote your 6 months, 1 hour, 2 hour every day, whatever you can on this learning. I will point out some resources to you free. You don't need me. You don't need anybody else, right? Here videos available, beautiful courses available, and you can learn it. In fact, just give me a moment. I will, before I forget. So So there is a course on NPTEL. I hope you all are aware of NPTEL. NPTEL is a great medium for our learning. So I am pointing out to you a beautiful course called Introduction to R Software. I encourage you after this session, go through the videos, right? And all videos and do whatever is there. It's free course, right? I'm not, no commercial interest. Don't think that I am recommending something with a commercial motive. I will recommend you everything which is free only, right? So this particular course on NPTEL is created by IIT professors. I'm sure most of you know about it. For those who are new to this is a wonderful platform for updating yourselves and your students by IIT professors, right? Okay, not all IIT professors are equally great just because they belong to an IIT, but some are really good. So you can find a number of courses in management, commerce, even arts, right? English literature, physics, mathematics, econometrics, whatever you want to learn, right? So there are courses freely available. So I have pointed out one course to you. You don't have to enroll and all. Enroll karna hai, you can do it on your own. But just go through the videos which are on YouTube. And jab bhi when you are commuting or you are free on your mobile also, you can watch those videos. So you will learn. Okay, so friends, now I have also pointed out to you what to do after this session. So now, friends, I am going to share with you one file, one R Studio file. And in that file, I have the data visualization exercises, right? But before that, I have a quick PPT to make, quick presentation to make, right? So now tell me, is the slide visible to you? Is the slide visible to you? Okay. So now friends, let's discuss how ggplot2 works. So we know data visualization has two purposes. One is to explore, that could be for our own consumption, and the other is to explain. That means to inform and persuade others, right? So ggplot2 is a R package which was created to give a particular structure to the business of visualization. So the creators of this package unbundled a chart. So a chart, we look at a chart as a whole. But what these people did, they said that chart is a combination of various layers. And you can control each of these layers and achieve a chart which you want to achieve. So they kind of unbundled a chart. Beautiful, isn't it? They unraveled a chart. They unbundled a chart. They delayered a chart. They dissected a chart and saw its entrails, what is contained inside a chart. So see their beauty, the beauty of the thought. So they said any chart is comprising of a number of layers. So what are these layers? So the first element of a chart is the data, of course, right? We all understand that. But now I'm formalizing your intuition. So the first element of a chart is the data which you want to plot. The second element of a chart, they used a name called aesthetics. In English language, aesthetics has a different meaning. But in this package, they said the second element of a chart is the scale on which you want to plot your data. So for example, I have advertising and sales revenue, and I want to plot advertising on X and sales on Y. So X and Y are the aesthetics, right? So aesthetics in ggplot2 package mean the scale on which we are mapping our data. So we are mapping X-axis with advertising, Y-axis with sales. Let us say we want to map a color axis for different companies, etc., etc. So there can be number of axes, number of mappings that you want to achieve with your data. I hope you are following me. The third is the specific shape that you want to create with your chart. So do you want a bar chart? Do you want a line chart? Do you want a scatter plot? What exactly? Do you want a box plot? What exactly are you looking for? Right? So that is called geometries. Now, these three are the key elements. If you understand these three, right, then I think you have just crossed the first hurdle in understanding ggplot2. Data, very simple, right? What is there in this? Not rocket science. Data, then aesthetics. Aesthetics means where exactly or how exactly you want a particular data point to appear. I'll repeat. Aesthetics mean where and how you want your data point to appear. So I want advertising on x-axis. That is a mapping. Advertising mapped to x-axis. Sales revenue going to y-axis. That is another mapping. Sales revenue going. So these are called aesthetics. These x and y are called aesthetics, right? And the third thing is what shape you want to use for your plot. Now, friends, aren't these three the most key elements of a chart? Just think about a chart. Think about any visualization you might have done or you might want to do. Can you think of anything aside from these three? I think yes, you can think, but I think these three almost entirely sum up what we look for in a chart, right? Just think through it. Give it a thought for 30 seconds. Do these three elements define a chart? Just think about it. I hope you are thinking, right? My job is to make you think also, right? Then there are other layers also, which are optional layers. For example, there are themes, the appearance, the, kind of the beauty of the chart. Then some statistics if you want to add. For example, you want to show mean separately, you want to add a regression line separately, etc. And then there are other layers also. So I have now talked to you about 1, 2, 3, 7 layers. Out of that, the key layers to understand for everyone is 3, right? And the rest are optional. Now, friends, with the help of this understanding that a chart or graph is nothing but a combination of various distinct elements, and we can control each element separately to achieve our charting purpose, charting objective. I assure you, the output this package produces is too good, excellent, publication quality graphics, professional quality graphics. If you learn it, you can use it in your research. If your students learn it, they can use it in their professional work, in their reports, right? But problem is that, R is not very kindly taken by students. I mean, what to talk of students, even faculty colleagues sometimes get demotivated when they are learning R. The reasons are obvious. It's a very slow thing. R is no different from you deciding to go on jogging from tomorrow. So you start with a lot of enthusiasm. You spend 10,000 rupees on Reebok shoes and Reebok tracksuit, right? You tell your family tomorrow morning, 5 o'clock, I am going for a jog, right? And I will continue. You make a promise to yourself. You start, you do it for 1 month. You join a gym, maybe expensive gym. But after 1 month, you see that neither your tummy has gone in nor your weight has reduced. In fact, you missed on certain days because you slept very late. And then you feel it is not working for me. Okay. Then it rains on one particular morning and you decide to sleep over. And then after 3 months, you have stopped going to the gym altogether. You have stopped going for jogging altogether. You've stopped your yoga altogether. How many of you relate with this experience? Say yes or no. How many of you relate with this experience? Or you've never tried jogging? See the yeses. Many people are saying yes, yes, yes. That is the problem. The same thing happens with R, right? So, friends, why did you leave jogging? Why did you stop gymming? Because you did not have the patience. If you continued for 6 months, even if there was no improvement or little improvement, after that the improvement would have started. The same thing happens in case of R. Just remember this analogy which I have tried to draw. I think it's a good analogy. And have patience, right? Just don't quit. Those who hang on, they succeed, right? Those, so difference between winners and losers is that losers are quitters, winners are not. It's not that winners are rocket scientists, they are smarter. Not always, not necessary. It is the quitters who become losers. I think you will agree with me. And I'm sure you tell this to your students also. So I wish you good luck. And now let's go to our exercise of using learning ggplot2. So now friends, as promised, I am sharing with you a data file which I use for my training programs. So I am sharing it in the chat box. It is called wizard.r. Please download it, keep it in a folder and double click it, right? Please download it, put it in a folder, go to that folder, double click this file, it will open in RS2. I am opening it. So here I have opened it. Okay. Now, everybody, have you downloaded? Have you opened? Say yes or no. Have you opened? Everybody, have you opened? Okay, Shahin. Okay, Anuradha. So we are Shubha, just do it. Okay, Mallikarjun ji. Nikita, what is the problem? They download it, open it. Big deal. Pandita, Manju. Irfan, Ajay. Okay, fine. I think everybody has opened it. So friends, now there is an example data that we will use. That example data is called MPG data. I informed you that R has some example data sets for practice. If you just type MPG in your R console, type MPG in R console, press enter, you see one data set appears, right? And sometimes I want to understand a data set, right? So let me type help MPG. Type help MPG. So when I type help MPG, on the right hand side, the description of this data appears. Please read the description quickly, everybody. Everybody, please read the description of MPG data, what this data is all about. And I think Usha ji was asking that how can we have different data structures within same data set. So MPG is an example of that data structure. MPG is a data frame, we will see. But first, before that, whenever you are using any data set, first understand what this data set is all about. So it is a fuel economy data of various cars, popular models of cars, right? And if you go down, you will see it has 11 variables: manufacturer name, model, displacement, which is engine displacement. Technicalities, don't worry about it. year of manufacture, number of cylinders, types of transmission, automatic है या फिर manual है, then drive train, front wheel, rear wheel, both wheel, city miles, mileage क्या है, HWI is highway miles per, so number of variables are there, right? Whenever you get any data set, in R, there is a function called str function. If you apply it on any data set, it tells you some basic things about your data. So it is, when I did str on MPG, what it is telling me, MPG is a data frame and it has several variables. Manufacturer, which is character data. It is giving me data type also. So it is character data means nominal data. Model name, it is nominal data. Displacement is numeric data, that is a ratio scale. Year is again, you can call it a ordinal data. Then cylinder is a integer data, again you can call it a ratio data. So data type, some data examples are given. So I hope now you are familiar with this data set, right? Now I want to do a descriptive statistics of this data. I promised you that we have downloaded the package psych and I want to create a descriptive statistics table for my data. So in psych package, I have already loaded psych package. That means I have the capability to use all the functions of psych package. So I use the function called describe. Now what is, I am writing directly in the console to tell you that it is also possible to write your code directly in the console. So describe function is available in which package? It is available in psych package, PSYCH. Because I have loaded psych package, I can use the describe function. Inside the describe function, number of items can be identified. So this is a function, various inputs can be given, but we are keeping things simple. It is our very first session. So I am just typing the dataset name. What is my dataset name? MPG. So I write describe in brackets MPG. What do I get? So friends, see, I have just obtained descriptive statistics of all the variables in my data. So my first variable is a manufacturer, right? It has total 234 observations, mean of 7.76, then standard deviation, median, trimmed mean, mean absolute deviation, minimum value, maximum value, range, skewness, kurtosis, and standard error of the mean. So you can see for all variables in this data, I have been able to obtain a descriptive statistics table. I think you have done it in some commercial softwares like SPSS also. So this is how we do it in R. Now let's come to the visualization part. So suppose I want to plot. So I hope everybody is able to do the descriptive statistics. Say yes or no. The describe function. Everybody, are you okay? Great, wonderful. Right now, after this session, you can read more about the describe function. There are various features available, so you can choose to select some of these statistics that are displaying, choose to not use some of these statistics, right? And there are other statistics. So, for example, you want the first quartile and third quartile also. That is possible, that you can do. So just go through that package documentation which I pointed out, right? And you will learn more about the describe function and just practice with it the way we are doing it, and you will be good, right? Good to go. Now, friends, we have understood the data by using descriptive statistics. Now, we want to do some plotting now, visualization. So the first plot anybody produces normally is the scatter plot. So suppose I am interested in creating a scatter plot between displacement and the variable HWY. Now you go to this help, you will see HWY refers to highway mileage, right? Highway mileage. and I want to plot it against the variable displacement, which is engine displacement in liter, so size of engine, right? Size of engine. So how do I do that? So remember our description of ggplot2? Every chart has layers. What are the three most important layers? The first is the data. So how do we write the code? So the code is, first you write ggplot. Please write it with me. Don't you copy it from the file. ggplot is the function we start with. We give it our first layer. What is the first layer? Data. So we write the data name and then put a comma. So first layer has been given. What is the name of the function? It is called ggplot function. First layer is data. Now, the second layer is the aesthetics. How do I want to map my variables? So for that, there is a particular syntax. I write AES. AES refers to aesthetics. And after aesthetics, I put another bracket. Then I want to use x-axis for displacement and y-axis for highway miles. So I have given it the second layer now. Second layer was how I want variables on my chart. I want on x-axis displacement, y-axis I want highway miles. So this is done. So first two elements, data and aesthetics, are always given in this function. Then the third layer is to be added. What is the shape of my plot I am looking for? So I am looking for a scatter plot. So scatter plot layer is, so gradually you will learn, it is written as geom point. Why geom? Geom refers to geometries. If you remember our slide, what was the meaning of geometries? The exact visual element you want for our chart. So geom refers to geometries, right? So geom underscore point will create a scatter plot. So we write plus, that means we are adding a layer. And the layer is geom point. And the moment you type geom, you will see number of geoms. You can have a box plot, you can have a bar plot, you can have an area plot, you can have a regression line, number of possibilities, right? So geom point and then bracket and abracadabra, enter. So friends, on the right hand side, you are getting your plot, which is a scatter plot between highway miles and displacement. And you can see that apparently there seems to be a inverse relationship. As displacement rises, engine size is rising, the highway mileage is falling. I mean, that is obvious, isn't it? The bigger the engine, the less will be the mileage, right? So you got your first scatter plot in ggplot2. So now friends, tell me, till now, the structure of ggplot, the structure of writing the code for a plot, did you follow? Yes or no? Say yes or no. Did you follow? Yes or no? The structure of ggplot2 code, the basic code. Okay, excellent, 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 wonderful. So remember the three layers, right? Layers. So think of a winter night. You are not feeling, you're feeling cold. You got one layer, then other layer, then third. South India, you don't face that kind of winter. In North India, we face 0 to 50 degree in a year, right? So sometimes winters are punishing. One layer is not enough. We get another layer, another layer, right? So layers, remember the layers. Okay, now friends, if you are able to survive my session till now, congratulations. Because now you are on a path to learn the visualization a little more deeper. Now I think you are able to understand my code sheet also, why I have used hash. So these are the comments. So I have shared this file with you. You can use it for your own practice. Today time will not permit us to cover everything that is there. Next thing I am covering is, I want to change the shape of the point. So if I zoom on my plot, my shape is like a diamond, but I'm not happy with this shape. I want to change the shape. So how do I change? In geom point, there are options to change the color and the shape. And when I go take my cursor to line number 8 and press Control Enter, right? When I take my cursor to line number 8 and press Control Enter, you will notice that now my scatter plot, the shapes are circular and the color is navy blue, right? Now, maybe some of you who is interested likes red color, right? Most of you are much younger than me. Maybe red is still your favorite. There was a time I used to have a red color as my favorite. Now, not anymore. So I am doing Control Enter and see the color has effortlessly changed, right? Okay. Okay. So line number 8, I hope it is clear. Now line number 9, don't do it right now. Do it when you are, when you are practicing it at your own, right? Now I will take you because time won't permit. Okay. Now see the beauty. Line number 18. So I want to add the fuel type to my graph. So my graph is two-dimensional now, X and Y. But I want to convey more information. I want to add fuel type on the same plot. How do I do that? So I give another aesthetic and I say that the shape of the points should change according to the variable fuel. Now, the variable FL is the variable fuel, huh? I hope you noticed it. Variable FL, it is here. And so I want to change, I want to display variable fuel also on the same graph. Line number 18 allows us to do that. Let me press Control Enter against line number 18. And what do I get? I get a beautiful plot where there is a legend also. Now it remains a scatter plot, but each point has a different shape according to fuel type. And the chart automatically has a legend also to tell me which particular shape is displaying which fuel type. Okay, friends, I am rushing a bit because time is about to end and we have to remain punctual. It's already 8:30, 8:23, and everybody might be tired. So I am rushing a bit, but I am pointing out the most important things to you in this particular code sheet, right? Okay. So now suppose somebody else is interested in displaying another variable. So on the same chart, now you have three variables. What if somebody is interested in displaying class variable also? So if you go to help MPG, the class variable refers to what? Type of car. So somebody wants to display class also on this graph. So you can add another aesthetics of color. So you want colors of the point to change according to class. So I do line number 20 and see now I have two legends on the same plot. Color of each point is displaying a particular type of car, whether two-seater, compact, mid-size, minivan, whatever, right? Now, friends, the last item. So there are many things here. You just use it for your own advantage, right? Now, I will take you to the most important item, in my opinion. Where has that gone? Yeah. Okay. Now, suppose, friends, and many times when you have a grouping variable, right? So suppose I want to do a plot ggplot, please type with me. ggplot, data is mpg, comma, aesthetics I want to add, x is equal to fuel and y is equal to class, right? And I want okay, forget it. I'll not take this example. It will confuse you. Now, suppose I am interested in a bar plot, right? And in that bar plot, I want separate bar plots for each class of car. So you see the class of cars here. There are two-seater compact. I want the fuel type bar for each of these class separately. So how can I create a set of plots for each class? So friends, the way to do it, and that is probably going to be the most useful plotting code that you can use. So we have a grouping variable now. Class is a grouping variable. So line number 56, the data is mpg, the aesthetics is only x aesthetic, that is fuel type, because I am creating a bar chart. In bar chart you have only one variable. The geometry is bar, right? So if you do this much of code, let us say I want to do this much of code, what do I get? I get a bar chart like this, right? But if I want this chart to be broken as per the grouping variable class, I can just add this small function called facet wrap and write tilde class and do line number 56. And this is the beauty of R. You see, now you have a set of charts. For each class, the fuel type has been plotted. So often you want to compare male, female, and you want to do a plotting for male separately, female separately. You can have a number of classes like this. And based on that, you want to do a plotting to compare the difference in some characteristic. So this is what is going to be useful to you. So I think it is 8:27 and my clock does not permit me to proceed, but I'm leaving you with this code sheet with explanations. Please practice it. Whenever you are stuck, just Google it. And I assure you, you learning about ggplot2 itself is a big skill which you could use for your professional work. So friends, to summarize, today I tried to highlight the importance of learning software like R and R Studio for people who do not have access to commercial software. Every institute is asking you to do research, but somehow facilities may not be there. So how not to limit yourself? So one way out is you learning these open source softwares like R. Then we learned what is the difference between R and R Studio. Then we learned in R Studio what is the architecture, how to save a code file, how to write on the code file, how to transfer instructions to the R console. Then we talked about how to, install packages. What is the meaning of package? How to find the right package for my use, how to activate a package. Then we talked about two packages, psych package and ggplot2. Then we did some demonstration of the descriptive statistics with psych package and some plotting with the help of ggplot2. And in the meantime, we discussed how ggplot2 approaches a chart. So this is a powerful explanation they give that has the power to change our concept of charts forever. I think before I learned ggplot2, I never looked at a chart as a bundle. I looked at a chart as a whole. But after that, it has changed now. And you can see you can control any of these elements. Of course, what we did today is a very small, not even a drop in the ocean of what we can achieve with R and R Studio. But the idea was not to do a lot of coverage today. The idea was I could give you some demonstration of the capabilities and I could motivate you for devoting time to learn it. I have also pointed out to you a wonderful video course from NPTEL, which is a non-commercial entity. So it doesn't conflict with any of our objectives of this session. And I encourage you to use that. And once you have done that, you will find your own way. You just Google whatever problems you are facing. There are a number of books available on Google, on internet, free for starting to learn R. I caution you, journey of learning R is like journey of starting an exercise regime. You will have frustrations. You will continue to feel demotivated at times. But in the end, anybody developing the good habit of exercise, long run, it will pay. Your doctor bills will be reduced. You will feel better about yourself. You will feel better about your looks, etc., etc. So it is worth it, right? So as far as I am concerned, I will strongly encourage you to devote time to learn it. I don't know if you have any questions. You can quickly ask, 1 or 2 minutes. Uh, I hope you could you could learn it somewhat. Okay. I know the challenge is very challenging, but I tried, and I hope you were able to learn it. Thank you. So thank you for the session, and I thank you, Professor Tiwari. Professor Tiwari is a very old friend of mine. We have worked together in 2009, and every time he invites me, it's always a pleasure to be here. I congratulate him for these great events and other events. Thank you, Ms. Regina, for introductions, and thank you all the participants. I'm happy that some of you are writing about how you found the session, and just wishing you good luck for your learning journey. Thanks a lot. So that's all from my side.
Nice. It was a nice session, wonderful session, sir. Always your blessing, sir. Rajina ma'am, please.